Okay, so this is the end of the year podcast. I thought that we'll we'll have some question and answer round over here, all relating to the Indian startup scene, or at least adjacent to the Indian startup scene somewhere. Favorite blow up of the year?
I was texting my mom. I was like, go finish all the money you have in your Blue Smart wallet because I don't know if we're going to be able to use this anymore. What was your favorite cancellation?
Essentially, there was this person called Bhandari, and they were like, a guy we interviewed for a tech role was getting 8 LPA and asked us for 19 LPA. Dreaming big is okay, but asking for such a big jump is pointless. And then somebody asked, what was your budget? And they said 24 LPA.
What is the worst fad or trend of the year?
I think this might be the same answer that both of us come up with. Are you
Yeah.
ready? One, two, three. So, Anmol, what's up?
Merry Christmas. Welcome to the holiday
Merry,
special for.
Merry Christmas and Happy New
Yeah.
Year. And because it's the holiday special, you know what I'm wearing? You see
Why is
this?
the chain is not a holiday special?
Yeah, chain is not, but this is.
Oh! Honestly, dude,
Himesh
I
Reshavya,
have
bro.
a Rocky and Rani t-shirt. I should have worn that today.
Yeah, you should use your
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
You should use your brain
I
some
saw
more.
your tweet and I was like, I'm gonna wear this. And then I was like, I forgot about
You forgot. Of course, you forgot.
it.
And if you were following me on Twitter, like I'm trying my hands with like different chains.
Yeah.
So if you like this one without this, like this, let me know. Let me know in the comments if you like the chain. Just write chain,
Chain, no, two chains. Two chains.
two
Two
chains.
chains.
Okay. Okay, so this is the end of the year podcast. I don't know if we will record one more because there's still some time to go. But I thought actually Anmol came up with this. But I thought that we'll we'll have some question and answer round over here, and we'll share some of the things that we liked about some specific topics that we talk about in this year, and like things like what is your favorite IPO, favorite cancellation, cringiest moment of the year, these kind of
Yep.
questions, okay, and all relating to the Indian startup scene, or at least adjacent to the Indian startup scene somewhere. That's what we want to discuss today. And before we get started, I want you to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. You already know what to comment, and share this to your best friend.
Yes. And ask them what their favorite IPO was this year.
Okay. All right. So the first question that we have is, drum rolls, please. Shabada. Favorite blow up of the year.
I'm kind of curious to see how many of these questions we have the same answer on. But my favorite blow of the year was the very well known Delhi NCR company, Blue Smart, and them going out of business. Most companies dying is not a very fun thing because, I mean, people lose jobs, there's just stuff gets dragged on the internet, people sometimes don't get paid out, etc., etc. But I think everything around this company was fairly comical on like how all the reporting came out on the founders using money from their parent company Gensol Engineering to buy a house and buy golf clubs, and like seeing all that play out on the internet was very entertaining this year, I must say. Like, I remember when it kind of came out that these guys may be in some trouble. I was texting my mom. I was like, go finish all the money you have in your Blue Smart wallet because I don't know if we're going to be able to use this anymore. So yeah, that was my. What about yours? What was your favorite blow up of the year?
Yeah, so I mean, I have two, and one of them did not really blow up in the literal sense. So one company that really liked, which sort of kind of blew up, but not really. It was like a slow death. Was Dunzo. It's a fucking verb at this point, right? Like I still say Dunzo kar dena.
Yeah.
It's still everyone says Dunzo, but the service doesn't exist. Like that kind of impact is like pretty rare. At least no other company has been able to do that kind of impact. At least in India. Like I mean, even Swiggy and Zomato sort of kind of divided. So you just say food order. It's not like Swiggy kar lena ya Zomato kar lena. But Dunzo is Dunzo. Like everybody knows if you want to send a parcel, it means Dunzo. So Dunzo was, I think, my most favorite blow up, whatever that means. Another company that I think kind of blew up was Kirana Pro. Kirana Pro. Kirana Pro hack was also a good contender for favorite blow up this year because
I think that
what a
that
bizarre
one
hack it
ended
was.
before it started. I don't know if that qualifies, Shobhit.
Sure, but I mean, it was just like one of those entertaining things that blew
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
you know. So yeah,
There was okay. Next up, what was your favorite cancellation of the year? Why don't you go first this time?
really, I thought you would go first and I will just copy. But um, I don't really have great options. Most of the things that I remember were just like people canceling Indians somewhere. A lot of times by Indians itself. So, but I think one that I really liked was with this. Essentially, there was this person called Bhandari handle Gurugram deals, and they were like a guy we interviewed for a tech role was getting 8 LPA and asked us for 19 LPA. Dreaming big is okay, but asking for such a big jump is pointless. That's
Uh,
what they had written. And then somebody asked, "What was your budget?" And they said 24 LPA. And I mean, I tweeted about it, but there were a bunch of other companies that people that sort of tweeted
oh
about it,
God.
and like it was basically a cancellation in like in like the that you know the way Twitter cancels somebody and forgets about it in a week,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of.
fair enough. When did this happen? I can't. I don't even remember what.
This was May
Oh
18th.
wow. Okay.
This was around the time when India was waging a war against
Yeah.
Pakistan.
Oh Jesus, dude, it's been a year. Mine is a more basic of an answer. I also couldn't think of like too many people who had like really gotten like cancelled, but I think the whole Soham Parekh saga was quite entertaining. That's
Okay.
his name, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I'm fine, correct.
I think it was just like wow, so many people I know have interviewed this person and he scammed so many people. And like I really believe like he deserves to get cancelled and never work for an American company again. So since then I don't think I've ever seen him talk about a US company, so I'm kind of happy about that.
The next question was cringiest moment of the year.
So I had an answer for this, which it wasn't like just one moment, but this one company repeatedly having a lot of cringy moments. Do you remember like Pooch on Twitter this year?
Yes.
Like they had the whole like trying to dunk on perplexity and then that whole like paying ads to that Indian tech Twitter
Yeah,
account and then
tracker.
the whole messy thing and it just
By Messi, he means Lionel Messi, not Messi.
I just there was a lot of things about them
Pooch.
on Twitter this year that I was just really like annoyed by. So they get my cringiest startup moment of the year award.
Okay, so mine was like pretty recent. So there was I remember, and it was cringy. I guess not to everybody, and I mean maybe the meaning behind it was fine, but basically there was this person who was co-founder with his sister, and the sister was getting married. The guy posted a photo of his sister getting married with like on the like
Yeah,
with her
yeah, yeah,
sitting
yeah,
next to
yeah,
the
yeah.
groom. The photo was basically her on a laptop, and he was like, your co-founder needs to be so much logged in that they are pushing code to the production during their wedding.
I
And I was like,
remember.
dude, that's just pointlessly
Yeah,
performative.
dude, that guy has been really like he's a great rage baiter. Do you remember he went viral a couple of months before that for talking about how he doesn't go to parties, but he went to this one party and someone from Cursor gave him asked him if he wanted to buy cocaine. Yeah,
Really?
dude. Like and like everyone in
May-
SF was like, "Why are you being such a fucking narc and like like telling everyone that this guy at Cursor sells drugs? Like, be cool. Like, have you never been to a party before?" And like that one I think got a little out of hand because I think he started getting a lot of hate messages because of it and ended up deleting the tweet. But I think he's a great rage baiter for sure.
Damn, I didn't. So maybe this was a rage bait. I'm
Yeah,
guessing. I don't
like
know.
that seems like to be his strategy to like get attention for his company.
Another company that is trying to do similar thing is Runeable or Runnable, however you want to pronounce it. Those guys also keep doing the rage baiting for no reason, and it's like, guys, just
Yeah,
okay, ho
I
gaya. Like,
remember that they were using that the bandana girls. Uh,
yeah, yeah, photo or something.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so cringiest moment done. We are at.
What is the worst fad or trend of the year?
I think this might be the same answer that both of us come up with.
Okay, let's see. Yeah,
Okay, are you
yeah,
ready? One, two, three.
yeah. Slop.
Studio Ghibli.
Okay, kind of.
Kind of same, but yeah. Studio Ghibli basically, back in March, everybody, or for like a couple of days, just took their photo and Ghiblified it or Ghiblified it. I don't know what's the correct
Yeah,
pronunciation. But yeah, that was just like, okay. After the first day, it was like, ho gaya.
yeah,
But the trend kept going and going, and I think your take on that was basically it's not that the photos are bad, it's just that everyone is thinking the same
yeah,
thing and nobody is being original. And I was like, yeah, makes sense. If you have a tool that can do basically anything, why would you do the same
yeah.
thing? But I guess that's human nature.
I mean, I like broadly, basically, I had the same answer as you. I think it's just that we're seeing so much slop on all facets on the internet. With like every 3 months, there's like a new trend that everyone tries to copy, and you have all this like video slop and image slop and text slop, and
Brain rot.
yeah. So I think it's just like that's been like the worst trend and stuff on the internet that like my brain's just fried from like it's ho gaya. I don't not anymore.
So another thing that we had decided on was favorite meme, but I think you did not come up with anything. But I want to share
Yeah,
mine.
I have a bad one, so I'll let you share your good one first.
Okay, it's not even a good one. I mean, it's just something that was just fun, which was and very very it didn't do anything, which was the "May I meet you"
Oh
meme. So for context, there's this investor called
no, no,
Right?
Bill Ackman.
Bill Ackman, sorry. This is this investor called Bill Ackman. And apparently he's a rich dude. He looks good. He's pretty tall. So he tweeted out, he said that I realized that a bunch of people these days are not able to meet the other sex. And I want to help them. I want to give you what I did so that you can do the same thing. And his strategy was basically just go up to a person and say, May I meet you? And if they say yes, you may engage in further conversation. I was like, why what?
It's like when people are like, oh, there's only one rule. There's only two rules to be on dating apps. Rule number one, be
Yeah.
smart. So rule number
Rule
two,
number
don't
two,
be
don't forget,
ugly.
don't be ugly. Yeah, don't forget rule one. But yeah, I mean essentially that's that's it. Like, may I meet you will never work if if you are a normie like me.
No, no, I mean, you're the only one with a wife and a partner on the podcast. So,
But point is, yeah, I mean I did much more effort I had to put much more effort than may I meet you. Okay. So just uh, just that whole those whole 2 days were just what the fuck's going
oh
on?
God. Okay, my very boring meme of the year, and this was more because of all the like memes I started seeing around this. Is have you heard of the 6, 7.
Yeah, of course.
So I tell you where this became really funny for me. I was watching this video on Twitter of this college women's basketball game, and the score was getting close to 67, and you could see like all the kids on in the stands kind of waiting
They're
for the
very,
score to get to 6-7. And then
yeah.
the girl hits a free throw, and then the whole like crowd goes and the stands go.
Six, yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that. I think the best meme that I saw about that was, if you want to make multiple generations laugh,
Oh my God.
just write 68 plus minus 1.
You hit Gen Alpha and the millennials. Yeah.
Boomers and boomers.
So, what was your favorite IPO of the year?
I had to think a lot because apparently there were so many IPOs this year. But I think the one that I really liked, which was, I mean, I tried to buy it as well, was Urban
Oh
Company.
wow!
Mostly because that's a service that I really like to use, and I've never heard like bad things about the service or the company. I mean, you might have like bad experiences here or there, but like the company as such has never been in like a very bad, you know, state, and it's just the vibes around it are just immaculate. That's my what is
Mine
yours?
was also Urban Company. Interestingly, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I had first heard of the company like a long time ago. So when I was still in school, I'd interned at this startup accelerator in Bombay. And one of the companies we had backed then was this company called Time Savers. And this was happening right around the time that Urban Company was getting started. I then went to college in the US, but like my parents loved using Urban Company. You always just hear such great things about the people and the service, and it's fairly interesting because I think a lot of consumer companies and services often get a lot of bad press at some point in their history, and I think Urban Company was the first one where I didn't see a lot of that. And they're also from Delhi, so always got to support the gang. uh, I hope they don't do as well anymore because we are investors in Pronto, and I think Pronto is going to eat their lunch money on the maid and house help service. But it was still great to go see them go public and deliver a lot of returns for all their investors.
So the next question that we wrote down was favorite Indian founders of the year.
I have two for these. I feel
Go for
like
it.
you're gonna like these because I on purpose didn't choose Dipinder because that was I was not allowed to.
Yeah.
So
I specifically mentioned I'm looking for questions where answer is not Deepinder Goyal.
okay, my first one is gonna be I don't think you would have expected this, but Ranveer Singh and Nikunj Biani, who are the
Okay.
founders of
Super
Super
you.
U. I think it's just been really fascinating seeing them launch late last year to like a massive bump up in revenue and them being available kind of all across the city on all the platforms in kirana stores. Some I saw a tweet yesterday that they are in vending machines in the Delhi metro now. And one joke I kept like kind of making last year was in the US we have all these 0 to 100 million ARR stories in AI, and in India we have 0 to 100 crore ARR stories in Super. So they're kind of like seem like the fastest growing 0 to 100 ARR story for a consumer brand that at least I have seen. And I think now they're at like 160, 170 crores. So they're doing very good. The other founder I had, which is also someone I don't think you'd expect, I would say, is Adit Palicha. The one thing that I think has been really impressive is like given where Zepto was end of last year or early this year, where like all the dark pattern stuff was coming up, Zomato's killing it in the public markets, and it seemed like Zepto wasn't in like the best situation. And I think as we've ended this year, they seem to have dropped all dark patterns, raised bunch more capital, and seemingly kind of control the narrative that they are on par with Swiggy or even ahead, even though Swiggy is now a public company. And so I think that's been like really interesting to see and kind of impressive in my opinion.
So the one I chose is probably somebody you would not expect, of course, and it's not like one of those, probably like as far away from tech as possible. I mean, not really. I mean, kind of, sort of, still in tech, but the person I chose is Ganesh from Fredo. And mostly because of like I'm not really a Frida fanboy or anything like that, but I like the way he carries himself on Twitter specifically. He doesn't just respond with like, he doesn't get angry very easily. I mean, he does reply in a like when things get heated up or something like that, but he's not like the guy who's like gali dera and all that stuff, right? And he's like building like a factory and he's like showing videos of those factories. And like I think the video which he showed about like how they built their some pillow was like the one which was like, okay man, this is pretty cool. Like this is one of those coolest things. Like I mean, anybody who is like a hater of Fredo should acknowledge that this is pretty cool. Like they just put some I don't know, cotton or some compressed cotton there, heat it up, and it comes out as like a pillow, and it's like the fluffiest pillow you would know. So yeah, I mean, Ganesh is
I
my
think
pick.
that's a good one. I think he's been killing it as well. Okay, next up, what was a fundraise or two that you thought was surprising this year?
Okay, so the one for me, I think would be more
Oh,
engage because okay, you're
I
surprised,
have the same one, and I was like, I don't think Shobhit's gonna
I
have
mean,
this one.
bro, I thought the same that you will never come think of more engage. Okay, why do you think more engage?
Well, because I think like we've been hearing all this like narrative of all these
SAS is dead.
US SaaS is dead and all these companies in the US SaaS companies from India and the US can't go public. At least all the chatter around this I heard privately was like no one wants to foot the tax bill of flipping these companies back to India for them to go public in India, but it seems like Mo Engage has been able to a pull that off, and also a very large part of their fundraise was secondaries. So they were able to give I think, a lot of good exit to Z47 and I think a couple other funds.
And their people,
Um,
hopefully.
Debatable.
Debatable. Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
well, why was it
So yeah, I
surprising for
mean, for
you?
me, yeah, because of the double fundraise that they were able to execute, even with the narrative being so against SaaS specifically, right? Honestly, that was like the big reason why I chose them. I was like, okay, the narrative is so against them. Despite that, they were able to raise two times. That was like just that was just something that I hardly
Yeah.
see.
I also had a couple other ones. So these are two fintech companies. The first one is this company
Mhm.
called Aspora. Have you heard of this company at
Okay.
all?
No.
So it's a very interesting company. So they started out as a company called Vance in the year 2022. Do you
Ah,
remember Vance?
Bob
No,
Vance,
no.
Vance Refrigeration.
They were in a YC batch in winter 2022. When they started, they were building pipe for India. Do you remember that pipe company?
What
Pipe,
pipe?
the sell your ARR to us and get the cash up front.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it.
So
Mhm.
I think like they quickly pivoted away from that, and they were building this. I mean, a neo bank for NRIs and money transfer product for NRIs and like financial services for NRIs. And super under the radar company. They raised a large round from Hummingbird and Sequoia on the back of two unannounced rounds from Hummingbird and Sequoia. They're doing remittances to India using stables. And when I think when they started getting hot is when all the Indian VCs are like, oh, what's our stablecoin play? What's our stablecoin play? And this is a company that
Ah,
all of them had the chance to meet 3 years ago and no one met.
hmm, hmm. Makes
So I
sense.
think that was, I was like, it kind of re-emerged out of nowhere to the people not following the story because they hadn't announced any of their fundraisers in the past. And they're now worth like $500 million.
500
Million, million.
billion? Million,
And
okay.
then the other one is a company, I don't actually know exactly what they do, but this is a fundraise super early in the year. This is a company called Zolve. Do you remember this company?
Okay. Yeah, I've heard this
So
name.
they build financial services for immigrants moving to America. And so it's kind of like if you move to the US, you need to open a bank account. They'll help you set up your bank account while you're moving itself. They help you get access to credit while you're moving, etc., etc., etc. And they had announced a 250 million fundraise, out of which 200 million was debt and 50 million was equity. And I think the debt is so that they can offer credit to their end consumers. But I was looking at traction and I found out they're valued at 800 million. And it's not a company you talk a lot about or hear very much about, but they can be India's next unicorn in the next year, maybe.
All right. Nice. One fundraise that I also liked, but I don't know how impactful it is, but it's favorite for me because I know the founders is Snapmint.
Okay, yeah, 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 yeah,
And
yeah.
Snapit is basically like a firm, which is buy now, pay later platform, but for India. I think they raised like 100 crores or something recently publicly
I thought it was
announced,
100
uh,
million.
or
Yeah,
100
yeah,
million.
yeah,
Some
yeah.
number in 100. And a couple of reasons why I liked it is obviously they are like my friends. My wife is invested in the seed round, so that's also good. Another thing is like they're also pretty under the radar. I mean, their I think users are sort of Misho's users or maybe Misho plus plus. So in our bubble, in our echo chamber, we never get to hear. And whenever I meet them, I'm always asking, "Kaun kharide? Who is it that is buying, let's say, a 99 rupee thing on EMI?"
I'm sure it's not
And
99 rupees thing. I'm sure it's like at least
sorry, 99 rupees
cheap
EMI
version.
is what I meant, not 99
Yeah.
rupee thing. But like, let's say 399 rupee thing on four EMIs, right? Like, who is not able to come up with like, 400 rupees? but, but yeah, there are people.
I mean, like, I think like they kind of got hot out of nowhere again because I remember there was like a time when like there was so much regulations against fintech companies and all these BNPL companies were dying. And it seems like
Yeah.
they stuck it out and now they're kind of back
Yeah, they're
booming.
the only
Yeah,
player
yeah,
kind of right
yeah.
now. As per them, it was also because other people were trying to do like RBI apparently had, strict ways of doing it. And apparently other people were like, okay, maybe they will change the law, so I'll just outrun them. But so I mean, they basically say that they had like slower growth early on because of that. But then I think they sort of ended up being the only person
Yeah,
available now.
makes
So
sense.
slow and steady
Yeah.
wins the race.
Okay, next up, what was your underhyped company of the year?
Okay, so underhyped by this, I did not go and think of like famous
Okay.
companies, but just one of those companies that I think have not been hyped up
Yeah.
at all, or maybe people don't
Yeah.
even know. So the one that I picked was this company called
Oh, they
Prosper.io.
just announced a
PR
round today.
round of
Yeah.
4 million, yeah. So Prosper, PROSPERR.io. So they are also kind of like a fintech, but I mean, not really. Closer to ClearTax. If ClearTax you consider fintech, then probably they are also. What they figured out is, how when you work at a company, you do some expenses that are for the
Mm,
company, and then you claim
mm.
reimbursement. So to claim that reimbursement, whatever reimbursement is there, the government treats it as your income and sort of tax it appropriately. Okay, that's the thing that happens in India. I don't know about US, but that is what happens here. And the thing is, government has provisions for you to sort of show that as actual reimbursement rather than an income. It's just that people are lazy to always figure that out, and so employees sort of kind of like end up paying like 25%, 20% of more tax than they needed to. A person who's making like between 5 to 12 LPA. Okay, uh, or maybe something maybe more as well. So what they figured out was, we know this law exists and people are just lazy. That is why they're not doing it. So they built software for the HR so that this can be captured, and that form generation, which form that you have to submit to the government so that the user can get back their tax, right? They basically built out a software to do that. And then they just started giving it to companies. And initially they started as a B2C platform where they're like, we will help you the employer to save taxes. Then they realize, okay, we can probably go to the company and help them, let's say, get their employees to earn some sort of more. And now they've sort of added a bunch of other services, but this was the main insight or crux of
Interesting. That's a
their
super interesting
company.
like wedge actually. Like you don't
Yeah.
like I don't hear as much about like Indian companies coming up with these like interesting regulatory or form submission wedges because there's a lot of business
Yeah.
like Carta in the US was built around this guy something
Yes.
like this essentially.
Another company that sort of was built on like a law or just a change in the law was your favorite company,
Well, that
JAR.
was more
Uh,
around UPI regulation change.
UPI regulation change, digital gold change, bunch of these things. Because I think earlier you cannot really buy like 20 rupees worth
Yeah.
of gold.
Yeah.
Now you can. That was a regulation change. What's your favorite? Sorry, underhyped company.
I chose a company that I think is going to be really in the news next year in a big way. And it is a founder you are fairly familiar with. It is
Okay.
Airlord.
Oh,
And
okay.
I think Airlord's going to have a bonkers year. And I don't know if you've seen their Instagram. They have the most brain rot content for any consumer app built in India that I've ever seen. I think they're doing the same thing on TikTok as well. What makes me really bullish on them and what like I got really excited about was the way I like to talk about Indian companies making it big in the US is when my friends in the US who are white and have no clue about the Indian startup ecosystem discover these products. It usually works a lot easier in the SaaS world because there's more SaaS companies. On several of Erler's Instagram posts, I have people who I know of from college who are liking the posts. So I was like, oh wow, it's kind of hit some amount of American Main Street culture already. And that's why I think they're gonna kind of do big things next year. Yeah, what was your favorite moment of the year?
Favorite moment of the year. Okay, so this one was, I think you already mentioned it, but my favorite one was Soham Parekh. Just the bizarreness of the whole thing. How can so many companies, interview the same person and then not know that person is working somewhere else? Especially when all of those companies are,
Yeah.
in YC. It was just like it was, it's like so bad that is
Yeah,
good kind
yeah,
of a
yeah.
moment. Like, okay, man, fair play. Like you, I mean, probably can't do this again, but like you did it once and whatever. Like, So that's the whole Soham Parekh saga was like, I think, my favorite moment of the year.
Okay.
What was yours?
Mine was Zoran Mamdani's election campaign.
Ah, good
Yeah,
one.
that was a. It was fun to kind of follow its kind of start to end because I remember, I think when the his campaign was heating up, he had made this video in Hindi that went viral all over Twitter, and it's when the I can't believe Mira Nair's son is a person running for office in the U.S. And then I think basically every kind of couple of weeks there was like something new about Zoran and some of his antics or one of his kind of competitors in the race. And then I was in the US when he won the election. So kind of seeing the full circle moment was just really fun to see on the internet and IRL this year.
Okay, would you have voted for him,
I'm not
or is it too personal?
registered voter in New York, but out of everyone, I probably would have voted for him. I
Interesting.
mean, I'm not voting for Cuomo because he's a rapist. So I mean, I don't think I agree with most of Zoran's policies, but I mean, for the vibes, why not?
I was just expecting a yes or a no
Okay.
answer. I mean,
There's no simple yes or no answers in American politics. So, uh,
all right.
okay, now we have a spicy one. What is something you changed your mind on this year?
I don't have a spicy answer
I
though.
have a
Like,
spicy answer. You think I have a spicy answer? Is maybe what should I say?
so the answer I have is a pretty boring one, but it's LinkedIn. I changed my mind on LinkedIn.
From what to what?
Um, I was of the opinion that LinkedIn is pointless, LinkedIn reach outs are pointless, LinkedIn posting is pointless, and honestly, I was not even doing it seriously. Was not taking it seriously a lot. This year, I kind of sort of changed that, and 80% of my revenue now comes
Oh
from LinkedIn.
shit!
So
Oh wow!
yeah, I was like, okay, what a
So
crazy asshole.
so all the
I mean,
all the
just
Ankar Wariko videos are true.
yes, they are true. Unfortunately, they are all true.
Oh wow!
um, LinkedIn has become so. I mean, because of the whole AI thing as well, like the email reach outs have sort of been dead, especially this year. Everyone is sort of using AI to sort of send like hundreds of emails every day or whatever this year. And my strategy was, sending handcrafted mails, and now nobody's reading them because they're like, "Acha, ye bhi, this one also would be spam." So I had to figure out mid of the year what to do. And thanks to my lovely
Yeah.
wife, we figured out that LinkedIn is the place to be.
Wow.
So she was always bullish on it, and I used to make fun
Yeah,
of it
and
of
now
her
you're a
for
LinkedIn
that.
influencer as well.
Not really an influencer, to be honest, but like just yeah. I mean, I've started DMing people. I've started sending like 100 requests a day. I have the badge. I have the badge on LinkedIn. I don't even have it on Twitter, but I have it on LinkedIn. The thing I changed my mind on was
Okay,
LinkedIn.
wow. You have 6,700 followers on.
Did you see what I'm doing? Okay.
Okay. So I changed my mind on two things this year. The first one is less spicy. So, and it's kind of in reference to one of the comments we got on Twitter from our last podcast. So someone was like, Shobhit and Anmol, why are you guys wearing wired headphones? So what
Okay.
I was a big AirPods guy, and after losing my third pair of AirPods last year, I was like, I can't afford to keep buying 20,000 rupee headphones. So my solution to that has been just buying endless number of headphones on Blinkit. So this year I have maybe gone through 10 or 12 pairs of earphones, but anytime I misplace them, I just buy a new one on Blinkit. And it comes to
Yeah. Same. It's so
it's
cheap,
so
bro.
cheap.
It's 350 rupees, 350, 400. Max you would pay 800. Like that's
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
max
yeah,
you would pay for a
yeah.
good
It's
quality
incredible.
one. I have six or
Yeah,
seven,
yeah,
but I also have like a bunch of these, mostly because of my laptop, not on the phone, but yeah, on laptop. It just I have two in my office. I have like two or three placed here. I have a couple of them in my bag and like in my other room. So it's just I also have like a bunch
yeah,
of
yeah.
yeah.
So and as a result, I have never not been in the presence of a headphone, which has been nice. Because I think definitely like there's been times where like I've lost my AirPods in an Uber and then I'm flying 2 days later and then I just have to raw dog the flight without headphones. And now I'm like, can't find headphones. Before calling my Uber, I'll call a Blinkit. And
Nice.
then
Okay, what's
the
the spicy
spicy
one?
one is as much of a Delhi proponent I am. I think in the big 2025 and 2026, it is probably a better idea to start building a startup from Bangalore. Very
Can you
reluctantly,
repeat
I
that
have to
from what? From what? Can you repeat that last word? What
from
was that?
Bangalore. And this isn't to say you still can't build great companies from Delhi, but I think your odds are just more stacked against you. Like I've had this conversation with two Delhi-based companies this year, and I was telling them like, you guys should just move to Bangalore. Like one of our companies that started out from Delhi, they always had their tech team in Bangalore, but now everyone from the company that's not running operations in Delhi is moving down to Bangalore as well. I think we'll probably see this a lot more. All the VCs have migrated down to Bangalore. I think you are able to retain talent better in Delhi, but talent density does not seem to be here. So that is a big thing I have changed my mind on. That I will probably get roasted for on the internet at some point.
So when are you
We will
shifting?
see. I spent half the year in Bangalore in any case, so we will see.
Yeah, that's a very hard pill to swallow for you, and I'm really proud of you for uh,
Hey, I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong. Like that is the basis of our friendship. If you think about it, admitting defeat on WhatsApp.
all right. Okay.
Uh,
Okay, the next one is biggest L you took, and I have a very sad one, so I would like you to
So
go
okay, I
first.
was thinking about this and like work wise, like I've been like fucking killing it this year. So no L's there. The only major L's I've taken this year is I've realized I've not taken very much time off and I've not traveled a bunch this year. And it's not that I haven't tried to travel. It just have like the whole year there's been stuff that's happened and then my travel plans has been cancelled. So start of the year, my parents were coming to India and I was supposed to go to Vietnam with them. And then I found out I need to convert my PIO to an OCI card and I couldn't leave the country for 5 months. So stuck in India. Um, and then I was supposed to go to Singapore or France this summer, and those plans also got cancelled. And so it's only been in November where I took a month off to go see my parents for Diwali in the US and spend a couple of weeks with friends there. But not taking enough time off has been my biggest L this year.
Damn, dude, super. Yeah, I did not realize you'll come that early. But what are you saying? You don't have
No, no,
time?
I didn't take enough time off. Like I feel like I was just like
You just wasted time.
no,
That's
no,
it.
I just like didn't have time to take off.
The fuck are you
Dude,
doing?
so many
You don't show up to this podcast on time. Like what?
do you know how many companies I have to manage?
Sure.
This year has been, I think we've made the most number of investments this year of any calendar year. We've had the most number of follow on rounds happen this year. So it's just been like too much talking to people and making our rounds happen and making the follow on rounds happen and making the follow on rounds happen. So it's been a busy year.
I mean, but okay, the way thinking is you don't have anybody to manage. You can, all your work is basically texting on WhatsApp
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
iMessage
But
if you're being
I've not been in
fancy.
the headspace to be able to like check out of work and be like, oh, I want to go to Europe for the summer
Got
for
it.
2 months.
Uh, that's the solopreneur
Yeah.
life, bro.
Uh,
Okay, the biggest L I took. Okay, so this year, I I always knew it's coming, but it finally happened. Doctors told me that I'm diabetic.
oh.
So that was the biggest L I took. because last year I was pre-diabetic and I was like, okay, that's fine. This is my warning. I will have to cut down everything. And next year I won't be pre-diabetic. And turns out this year I'm diabetic.
Oh,
So I've had to cut down a bunch of these things. I haven't had ice cream in a very long time. But yeah, that was the biggest hell I took.
damn. I mean, you also took another
Being
L this
diagnosed.
year.
I took a bunch of these L's, but
Okay, the biggest L you took
uh,
this year was actually that you didn't get to see Himesh this year.
I know this was my second one that I would have answered.
Big,
That is why I was like, that's why I have this T-shirt, and that I had the whole thing built up.
uh,
But thanks for nothing.
uh, okay,
Okay.
now we have a couple
So
of
yeah,
fun ones to end on. Actually, funish ones to end on. What are you bullish on for 2026?
why don't you answer this one
You don't
only?
have any. I so
I have. Yeah.
okay, I can start. So after seeing Airlearn's videos on Instagram, I finally was in a place where I was like, this brain rot is way too much. I'm done with it. And I've deleted Instagram from my phone for the last month or so. I don't have LinkedIn on my phone. The only social app I have on my phone is Twitter now. I think 2026 is going to be a big year for all things offline. People are going to be touching grass a lot more and doing experiences, activities, meeting people offline, doing things offline, living offline. Online era is finally diminishing.
Okay. You said the same thing in January of this year.
Did I?
Okay. That was the whole experience economy bit that we
No,
did.
but
The
this
first podcast
I
of.
think we've finally hit peak Instagram. The number of people I've met in the last like 3 4 months who've told me that we've deleted Instagram has been significant.
Probably the age group that you are in.
What like late
Like
early
a lot
20?
of my friends are not on, yeah, like, a lot of my friends are not at all on Instagram, for example. They're only on LinkedIn.
Okay, I'll take it. Sorry, the boomers are on LinkedIn. But I'm sure
Yeah.
your friends are also scrolling on. Are your friends not doom scrolling on Reels?
My friends have started getting like,
So they don't
kids,
have time to doom
and
scroll on Reels.
yeah, they have kids, they have sometimes spouses also,
Yeah, yeah,
they both of them are like, we'll be good
yeah.
together. But
Like I haven't seen a reel for like I haven't seen a reel in my feed for at least a month now.
hmm,
Now I only get the ones
interesting.
that you send me.
Uh, so I mean, I had uninstalled Instagram and I was only using on web,
Okay,
except for the last week.
okay.
I re-downloaded it and I was like, let me get my. If I can't have sugar, I'll have something else.
Uh, your
Okay,
addiction was
okay,
your thing. Okay. What are you
yeah.
bullish on?
So I mean, I had a very boring answer. That's why I was like, you go first. But the answer I have was voice. Okay, voice AI, but not as as the way people sort of use it right now. So which is like you're talking to the voice, you're like, can you do, what do you think of this, and they answer. And that's not the way I'm saying you have the UI that you already have, you interact with that UI with voice
Okay,
rather than uh you know interacting with voice.
got it. So it's
Like
like you're using like cursor voice mode a lot more.
cursor voice mode is a good
Yeah.
example. But so one of the apps that we had built was essentially for one of like the nursing homes, kind of a company in Germany. What we had done for them was, the staff that gives the handover to the next shift, they have to like type in notes about, okay, what happened to this guy fall down, so make sure that you jumpify or whatever,
Yeah.
right? So and they have like they had a clunky UI for that on their phone, that okay, this patient, this, and so we sort of removed that. I mean, we kept the UI, but we added like a voice mode to that, where the user presses the button and then sort of speaks into it, that the patient XYZ had a fall, and this is this, and these were the readings when they have to go out. So they have to enter the readings of whatever levels and what stuff. So they had to do that like manually
Yeah.
initially, and now they can just hold the button and just
Okay.
do it in one go, and it pre-fills everything, and then they can obviously edit and forward. They were like, yeah, this kind of thing, this basically saves us about 20-25 minutes after every shift, that multiplied by number of people multiplied by number of days, like there's like a huge amount of time savings. But I just realized that that whole format, the whole interaction is way superior than anything else. So this was not like talking to AI, which is like how we do in chat gpt
Yeah.
when you're talking to AI or something, or a lot of phone calls that you're sort of talking to the AI. That's a different thing. I'm saying that you have the current UI, which is already pretty an optimized thing, and now you want to get the user to sort of fill it more easily,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you do it via that. Whisperflow kind of does this, but it says on every field you have to enter
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
data.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
You
but
have to like select the field.
you're kind of saying that like we primarily use voice as in input fields, and you want to use voice to. We're gonna see voice controlling interfaces and kind of controlling actions in the sense.
Yeah, correct. Yes. So, I mean, you have, let's say, Swiggy already open or
Yeah.
Zomato already open,
You
and then
get me
you're like,
to
okay,
order a McChicken from McDonald's and
yeah.
charge
And then it
my
does all those
yeah
actions for
yeah.
you, and then wherever you're needed, you can just see it going through, and then, you know.
Actually,
So that is something
yeah,
that I don't know what to call it, but this interaction,
yeah.
I feel, is going to be a very big interaction
I can
moving
I
forward.
can see that a lot. I think that's a
Yeah.
good one.
It's a very dorky, very nerdy thing. So I was like, "Oh, it's not interesting at all." But yeah, this is what I'm
I
bullish
mean, if you
on.
think about it, your answer is the same as mine because both of them
Sure.
are reducing screen time, and you're
I-
living offline when you're not looking at your phone because you're talking to your
Makes sense.
phone.
Okay, so we have the last
Yeah.
question, and okay, do you want to take it,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
should I?
What was your favorite Bollywood movie of the year? And please tell our
Okay, so
audience how
this
many Bollywood movies you watched this year.
I probably watched three. I mean, the ones that were released this year, I probably would have watched three, maybe four. But my favorite one was Jolly LLB 3.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Durandar,
Okay.
so I
Okay.
don't
Okay.
know. But Jolly LLB 3 was pretty good. I like the series. I mean, I like the one and two as well, so I like the third one. But yeah, that was my favorite. Nothing spicy
What
there.
was your least favorite this year?
I don't know. I've stopped watching movies. I just regress back to like old movies or old pieces of content,
Fair enough.
like shows and stuff. I liked sort of kind of watched this new series as well, which was like a very brain rot series,
Oh
not
yeah, yeah. We
brain rot,
spoke
but
about this, right?
human slop series, which was Jamna Par, and I was like, this is pointless series, but I'm watching it because I started watching it, and
Uh,
I just wanted to finish the storyline, and that's why I just watched the
yeah.
series.
Yeah.
But it was like how we have AI
Yeah.
slop. I think that was human slop, which was like just good enough for you, but not like giving you anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, what about you?
In my second Ranveer Singh answer of the year, um, uh, I saw Dhurandhar a couple of weeks ago, and I was so hyped up for it because the title track is incredible, and the soundtrack that came out before the movie was incredible, and I really enjoyed watching the movie. It is long, could have maybe been shorter, but I think it was very enjoyable. And I watched a lot of really, those like Bollywood movies that are like so bad that they're good.
Yeah, like Gunda.
Yeah. So I watched a bunch of those this year, but I think of
Oh,
like
which ones?
I watched Love Yapa, I watched Mere Husband Ki Biwi,
Okay,
Sunny Sanskari Ki Tulsi
Vicky
Kumari.
Kumari.
In a category I wouldn't put in this, but like Sayara was I enjoyed watching that in the theaters. but I think
Hmm.
Thurandar was probably the one I is the only one that I'm gonna go watch again.
One thing that I really liked about this year, the series that I liked was this one, The Bastards of
Oh, that
Bollywood.
was good. Yeah,
Yeah, that was one of those. I was like, wow, this is pretty
yeah.
good. One more movie that I sort of liked was this movie called Badass Ravi Kumar. Have you seen?
I have not, but it's our man. It's our man.
It's by Himesh Reshammiya. The nights aren't tandoori enough, and by the way, in Delhi now apparently you can't have tandoor, so
I,
forget your tandoori nights.
people are not leaving their houses right now to go have tandoors. We have our air purifiers in every. I tried. I bought a air purifier on Amazon now a couple of days ago.
Oh, you did not
No,
have
no,
an air
I
purifier
didn't
like
have
this.
like my brother's visiting. I didn't have an extra one for him in the guest room because I have
Oh,
two, and I was like, okay, we need a third one. So yeah,
so your brother stays in the guest room.
yeah, yeah. Well, I have one for the office and one for my bedroom.
All
All
right.
right, we will
So
probably see you
we're
in.
done with the questions. I honestly thought it'll go longer.
Yeah, I think we. It's okay. Next year we can do a longer one.
Hopefully, we are still recording
Of course,
videos.
we're recording. We're committed to this podcast.
All right. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button. If you haven't, subscribe. If you haven't, comment.
Two
What do you want to
chains.
comment? Two chains. Yeah, two chains. Comment two chains and
We'll see you next year.